Introduction. Hey there. Have you ever found yourself in the midst of a heated argument, feeling your emotions spiral out of control? You're definitely not alone. Today, we're going to explore 5 powerful strategies to help you stay calm during conflicts and take charge of your emotions, even in the heat of the moment. Arguments can feel overwhelming, like everything is stacking against you. And before you know it, you're caught in a whirlwind of frustration. But here's the truth. Staying calm is not a passive experience. It's a conscious choice that you can make. In this video, we'll delve into practical techniques inspired by Stoicism. These strategies aren't about avoiding conflict or suppressing your feelings. They're designed to help you navigate tough situations with clarity and composure. You don't need complicated hacks or lengthy meditations. Just a few simple adjustments can lead to significant changes in how you handle disagreements. Before we jump in, be sure to subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on more tips for improving your emotional control. Ready to take charge of your reactions? Let's dive right in. Strategy 1. Understand that staying calm is a choice. You have power over your mind, not outside events. When you realize this, you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. In today's fast-paced world, tensions are high and conflicts can arise unexpectedly. Whether at work, home, or online, emotions can escalate quickly, making it feel as if staying calm is beyond our control. However, Stoic philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius, remind us that how we respond to external events is a choice, not fate. In American life, stresses such as tight work deadlines, financial pressure, and the constant pace of modern communication can make it hard to stay grounded. Social media, in particular, often amplifies conflicts, turning small disagreements into full-blown arguments. Stoicism teaches that despite these pressures, we always have control over how we react. For example, imagine a colleague criticizes your work. Instantly, your heart races and frustration builds. Or perhaps a customer service interaction leaves you feeling dismissed. These situations trigger our fight or flight response, which, while helpful in physical danger, only clouds judgment in modern conflicts. This is where Stoicism's power lies. By pausing and choosing how we respond, we can avoid escalating the conflict. When faced with conflict, the Stoics recommend pausing to regain control. Taking a deep breath or stepping away for a moment can break the automatic emotional reaction and allow for a more measured response. For instance, if your boss criticizes your report, instead of reacting impulsively, take a breath and ask yourself, what is the goal of this conversation? Am I trying to win or understand? Shifting from winning to understanding can lead to a more productive dialogue. Another technique is to mentally distance yourself from the situation. Imagine you're observing the interaction from an outside perspective. This shift helps you see both sides more clearly and respond with calm rather than being swept away by emotions. Choosing calm offers real benefits. First, it improves decision-making. When we pause, we make clearer, more thoughtful choices. It also strengthens relationships, as staying calm during disagreements fosters respect and better communication. Over time, practicing calm increases emotional resilience, helping you navigate stress more effectively. Most importantly, it cultivates inner peace. Instead of being at the mercy of external chaos, you remain grounded, no matter the circumstances. A relevant example in today's political climate is online debates, which often trigger strong emotions. Applying the Stoic principle of pausing before reacting helps you approach such discussions with calm. By focusing on understanding rather than winning, you can engage in more respectful and productive conversations. Ultimately, choosing calm in conflict is a practical tool, not just a theoretical ideal, whether at home, work, or online. Embracing this strategy allows you to manage your emotional responses, build stronger relationships, and achieve a greater sense of inner peace. By practicing this, you'll find that while you can't control the storms around you, you can control how you ride the waves. Strategy 2. The power of listening over speaking. Most of what we say and do is not essential. Marcus Aurelius. In the heat of an argument, the impulse is often to speak louder or faster in order to defend your point. But what if the real power lies not in speaking, but in listening? The Stoic philosopher, Marcus Aurelius, reminds us that many of our impulses, especially in conflict, are unnecessary. Choosing to listen rather than speak can be a game changer in resolving disagreements calmly and effectively. In modern life, especially in the US, conversations often become contests of who can speak the quickest or loudest. Social media amplifies this, where people rush to share their opinions without truly hearing the other side. The result is often escalating tension and misunderstanding. The Stoic approach, however, teaches that silence in the face of conflict is not weakness, but a powerful strategy to de-escalate tension and gain deeper insight. In an argument, the natural urge is to interrupt or respond immediately, especially when emotions are running high. But when you interrupt, it signals that you're not listening and often makes the other person feel unheard, which only intensifies the conflict. Listening, however, does the opposite. It calms the situation, shows respect, and creates an opportunity for better understanding. By listening carefully, you often discover that the issue is not as deep or personal as it first seemed. Think of an argument like a dance. If you're too focused on your next step, you can't move with the rhythm of your partner. Similarly, if you're focused solely on what you're going to say next, you're not paying attention to the emotional nuances of the conversation. Listening allows you to tune in to what's behind the words, uncovering deeper emotions and motivations. It's not just about hearing the words. It's about understanding the feelings behind them. One effective practice is reflective listening. This involves repeating or summarizing what the other person has said, not as a way to mimic them, but to show you understand their perspective. For example, if someone says, "You never consider my opinion when we make decisions," instead of immediately defending yourself, you might respond, "It sounds like you feel I don't take your input seriously. Is that right?" This small shift often transforms the tone of the conversation, making it feel less confrontational and more collaborative. Body language is another essential part of listening. An argument isn't just about what is said. It's also about what is communicated non-verbally. Crossing your arms, raising your voice, or rolling your eyes sends a clear signal that you're closed off to the other person. To truly listen, you need to show openness through your posture. Keeping your arms uncrossed, maintaining soft eye contact, and nodding occasionally signals that you're engaged and open to hearing the other person's feelings. The Stoics emphasize the importance of controlling our impulses. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "Most of what we say and do is not essential." In arguments, the impulse to speak often comes from a place of ego, wanting to defend our pride or prove we're right. But when you choose to listen instead of speak, you're not giving up your power. You're using it wisely. Listening is an act of restraint, and restraint in conflict is the highest form of strength. Next time you find yourself in a heated conversation, pause and commit to listening more than speaking. Ask yourself, What is this person really trying to tell me? What emotions are behind their words? You might discover that listening doesn't just calm the argument. It shifts the focus from conflict to connection. When you make the other person feel heard, you're far more likely to resolve the issue with mutual respect and understanding. Strategy 3. Learn to see arguments as collaboration. To be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Marcus Aurelius. Arguments often feel like battles where one person must win and the other lose. However, Stoicism encourages us to see conflicts as opportunities for collaboration rather than competition. When you shift from a me-a-vis, you mindset to we mindset, arguments become a chance to work together toward a solution rather than a contest to prove who's right. In everyday life, arguments escalate when both parties act defensively, feeling attacked and determined to win. But if the goal is to solve a problem, does it matter who is right? Marcus Aurelius's wisdom reminds us that true strength comes from building bridges, not creating divides. If you think of an argument as a boat in rough waters, each person rowing in different directions only makes the boat spin in circles. But if both row together toward a common goal, the boat moves steadily forward. To transform arguments into collaboration, start by changing your language. Instead of blaming or accusing, you never listen, or you always do this. Try phrasing things like, how can we figure this out together? Or what can we both do to make this better? This subtle shift from you to we invites the other person into a problem-solving partnership rather than putting them on the defensive. Another key to collaboration is finding common ground. For example, during a disagreement about household chores, instead of focusing on what's not being done, recognize shared values like fairness, cleanliness, and teamwork. By focusing on these mutual goals, you can work together to find a solution. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control. While you can't control how others react, you can control how you approach the conversation. By prioritizing collaboration over competition, you diffuse conflict and open the door to understanding and resolution. This mindset doesn't just calm the argument. It builds trust, strengthens relationships, and encourages solutions that benefit both sides. Next time you're in a conflict, pause and ask yourself, am I trying to understand this person, or am I trying to prove them wrong? If it's the latter, take a moment to reflect. Remember, arguments are not about winning. They're about finding a way forward together. Strategy 4. Master your body to master your mind. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Your body often reveals the truth of your emotions before your words do. A clenched jaw, tight fists, or shallow breathing are physical signs that tension has already taken hold, even if you haven't consciously noticed it. The connection between the body and the mind is inseparable. When one is tense, the other follows. However, this connection works both ways. By calming your body, you can calm your mind, creating space for clarity and composure. Arguments can feel like navigating through a storm, and your body is the steering wheel. If you grip tightly and brace for impact, the storm feels more hostile and overwhelming. But if you loosen your grip, slow your breathing, and relax your posture, the storm becomes something you can manage. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control external events, we can control how we react to them. Mastering your body is one of the most effective ways to maintain this control. The first step is to focus on your breath. When emotions run high, Your breathing often becomes shallow and rapid, which fuels the cycle of anger or anxiety. To break this cycle, practice controlled breathing. Inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 4, and exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. Repeating this cycle 3 or 4 times activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your brain that signals safety and calm. This simple act of focusing on your breath sends a message to your body that there is no immediate threat, helping to reduce feelings of anger or defensiveness. Another important step is to release physical tension. Arguments often cause us to brace unconsciously. Shoulders rise, fists clench, and jaws tighten as if preparing for a fight. By consciously scanning your body and relaxing these areas, you can break this cycle of tension. Drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, and open your hands. These small adjustments may seem insignificant, but they send a powerful signal to your brain that there is no need to fight. This shift in your physical state allows your mind to settle, creating space for thoughtful responses instead of reactive outbursts. Your posture also plays a crucial role in how you approach conflict. Defensive or aggressive postures, such as crossing your arms, leaning forward, or standing rigidly, can escalate tension without you even realizing it. Instead, adopt an open and non-threatening stance. Keep your arms relaxed at your sides or rest them on a surface, and sit or stand with an upright but soft posture, confident yet calm. Leaning back slightly rather than forward conveys openness and receptiveness. These subtle changes not only help calm your own mind, but also signal to the other person that you are open to dialogue rather than confrontation, which can help de-escalate their defensiveness. Your voice is another key part of your body that reflects your emotions. A raised, sharp tone can unintentionally provoke hostility, while a steady, measured tone invites calm. If you notice your voice rising in pitch or speed, take a moment to consciously lower it and slow down your speech. Speaking deliberately, with a calm rhythm, sets the tone for the conversation and often encourages the other person to mirror your calmness. Mastering your body during an argument starts with practicing these techniques in your daily life. Pay attention to how your body reacts to stress throughout the day. Are your shoulders tense while working? Is your breathing shallow during a difficult task? Use these moments to practice relaxing your body and focusing on your breath. Over time, these practices will become second nature, giving you a solid foundation of calm to draw from when conflicts arise. At the end of each day, take a moment to check in with your body. Notice where you are holding tension and whether your breathing is deep and steady. This practice of self-awareness builds a habit of maintaining physical and emotional calm, even in challenging situations. Stoicism teaches that true strength lies in self-control. By mastering your body, you create the conditions for emotional clarity and rational thinking. When your body is calm, your mind is free to listen actively, respond thoughtfully, and approach conflicts with grace. This doesn't just help you navigate arguments, it transforms them. Instead of reacting out of anger or defensiveness, you can engage with patience and understanding, building stronger relationships and finding solutions that benefit both sides. Next time you feel tension rising in an argument, pause and ask yourself, what is my body telling me right now? Then use your breath, release tension, and adjust your posture to regain control. With a calm body and a clear mind, you can approach any storm with the confidence of someone who truly understands their own power. Strategy 5. Let go of the need to win. Winning feels satisfying, doesn't it? That surge of triumph when you prove your point, deliver a clever comeback, or come out on top in an argument. It's incredibly tempting to aim for victory, especially when emotions are running high. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Winning an argument often comes at the expense of something far more important: peace, understanding, and connection. Most conflicts aren't truly about the surface level disagreement. At their core, they're fueled by ego. The need to protect yourself, prove your worth, or avoid feeling wrong. The need to win blinds us to the bigger picture. Ask yourself, what is the real cost of being right? Does winning strengthen your relationship, or does it create distance? Does it bring resolution, or does it leave behind resentment and hurt feelings? Marcus Aurelius captured this idea perfectly. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of anger, than the causes of it? In other words, the damage caused by an argument often outweighs whatever the disagreement was about in the first place. Letting go of the need to win doesn't mean giving up or compromising your values. Instead, it means shifting your focus from dominating the conversation to understanding it. Think of an argument like a fire. Feeding it with ego-driven responses, sarcasm, defensiveness, or blame only makes it burn hotter and harder to control. But when you step back, pause, and choose not to stoke the flames, the fire begins to die down on its own. Letting go of the need to win means choosing to de-escalate rather than escalate. One way to practice this is through humility. Humility doesn't mean lowering yourself or dismissing your own perspective. It means recognizing that your view of the situation is not the only one that matters. During a disagreement, ask yourself, is it possible that I'm missing something here? What can I learn from the other person's perspective? What can I learn from the other person's perspective? This mindset creates space for curiosity and empathy, both of which are essential for resolving conflict. When you approach an argument with the intent to understand rather than to dominate, you may find the other person more willing to meet you halfway. Another powerful tool is learning to say, "You might be right," as these 4 simple words don't mean surrendering or betraying your own beliefs. Instead, they demonstrate your willingness to listen and consider the other person's point of view. This phrase has a disarming effect. It lowers tension and invites collaboration. It's not about giving up. It's about signaling that you value the other person's input. Often, this act of respect is reciprocated, leading to a more productive dialogue. It's also important to reflect on the long-term impact of the argument. Imagine looking back on conflict a week, a month, or a year from now. Will it still matter? In most cases, the answer is no. This realization can be incredibly freeing. It reminds you that some battles aren't worth fighting, and that preserving the relationship is often far more valuable than winning the debate. Letting go of the need to win also means being comfortable with unresolved disagreements. Not every argument needs to end in a perfect resolution. Sometimes agreeing to disagree is the best outcome, especially if it means maintaining mutual respect. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, and part of that includes accepting that we can't always change someone else's mind. During your next argument, pause and ask yourself, what truly matters here? Is proving my point worth the strain it puts on this relationship? Is this argument feeding my growth, or am I simply feeding my ego? These moments of reflection can help you shift your focus from victory to understanding, from conflict to connection. When we prioritize understanding over winning, we create space for compromise and growth. Arguments, when approached with humility and patience, become opportunities for deeper understanding and stronger relationships. By choosing to listen, reflect, and value the relationship over the need to be right. We can turn even the most heated conflicts into moments of connection. Ultimately, the most meaningful victories aren't about proving someone wrong. They're about strengthening the bonds that matter most. Winning isn't about dominating. It's about creating a space where both people feel heard, respected and valued. Respected and valued. That's a victory worth striving for.